E aí galera, beleza? Deletra na área. E uma polêmica gigantesca envolvendo o Botafogo, Palmeiras e o São Paulo acaba de explodir nos noticiários. Depois de garantir ter evidências pesadas de que o Palmeiras foi favorecido nas campanhas de 2022 e 2023 do Campeonato Brasileiro, o presidente do Botafogo foi além e apontou nessa segunda-feira à noite quais jogos o Verdão foi supostamente beneficiado. De acordo com o empresário norte-americano e dono da SAF do Botafogo, as partidas manipuladas favoravelmente ao Palmeiras foram as vitórias por 4-0 sobre o Fortaleza lá em 2 de novembro de 2022 e por 5-0 sobre o São Paulo em outubro de 2023. Textor também afirmou que para chegar a essas conclusões foram usados grandes especialistas e também inteligência artificial, que apontaram comportamento anormais de jogadores do Fortaleza e também no São Paulo nas partidas citadas. Segundo a nota publicada, deve-se ficar claro que as provas não estabelecem um motivo, nem sugere que qualquer clube tenha sido responsável por essa manipulação, além dos jogadores específicos identificados, descreve o relatório apresentado pelo dono da SAF do Botafogo nesta segunda-feira. O empresário também relata que no primeiro exemplo citado entre Palmeiras e Fortaleza, a CBF recebeu 2 e-mails em maio de 2023 que alertava sobre a óbvia manipulação do jogo, mas a CBF não reagiu. Textor também disse que não vai divulgar o nome dos jogadores acusados e só apresentará tais provas a procuradores e investigadores governamentais. Mas essa aí não é a primeira vez que o Textor acusa o Palmeiras de ser beneficiado nos últimos anos. Em março, o dono da SAF do Botafogo falou sobre corrupção de arbitragem no futebol nacional e citou o jogo entre Palmeiras e Fortaleza pelo Campeonato Brasileiro de 2022, dizendo que enviou as provas à CBF. Em nota oficial, o Palmeiras repudiou as declarações do norte-americano e comunicou que irá processá-lo nas esferas civil, criminal e esportiva.
Look, we talked about it coming out of last season, difficult end. I'm the guy that says no rear view mirror, right?
Yes.
That's my belief. I look forward in life. We learned some things. We learned from the past. We learned what happened last year. Many of our fans have a good idea of what they saw happen on the field. We have a very good idea of what was happening off the field. And it's my job to learn these things, to stay on these things, to defend this organization. I came here because I was invited to help bring new ideas and new things to Brazil. And what I learned about some of the problems of the past, you generally hear people talk about all over the world. It's a problem in global football. People think I'm attacking Brazil. I'm not. What I'm trying to do is bring some of what we've learned globally, where they're trying to fix match fixing. They're trying to change it. We're trying to improve referees by training, pay them more, make them go full time. These are the themes that, I brought to Brazil as one person, among other leaders of SAFs, among other reformists that are here in Brazil, things we talked about in Libra. This is the benefit of forming the new league. So why are we talking about corruption? The coach, the players, they're talking about next year. You see, we're ready to go like everybody else. Everybody's getting ready for the new campaign. One of the unfortunate bits of aftermath of my public statements that night, when I went to the sideline of Palmeiras, I already had the evidence of things that happened prior to that game. We have a knowledge of, it's not about referees. It's about a couple of referees, right? We had knowledge of what had happened in some games. We have an eye in the sky that has never before been possible in watching football games. It's machine learning. It's computer vision. We all have the capacity as human beings to watch individual moments and plays. And we see the field, but we've got a lot of other things going on. The average person cannot digest millions of pixels and movements and kinetic action all over the field. We can focus on a few things. Computer vision allows us to see everything, every minute of the game, every key moment, every second of the game, all the players, measure their tendencies, see what's wrong. So we're talking about this to make sure that last year never happens again. And I'm not talking about the Botafogo fans saying we can never again see a lack of motivation. Our players had to deal with things that were going on off the field, and I believe they knew it. And I saw, 14 out of 17 games we won, and then the world changed. Really? Did that just happen? Did suddenly everybody get bad? No. Yeah, football's bad. Other players are good. We had great competition. We had great teams. The people we're going after aren't the players of Palmeiras. There's not one player at Palmeiras involved in the match fixing that we're looking at in Palmeiras games. There's not one official that we are aware of in leadership in the organization, not a coach, not anybody at Palmeiras that we believe is involved, that we know is involved in fixing Palmeiras games. This is a battle for the soul of our sport, and we all need to be together. There is not one allegation that I've made against Edinaldo, and what was lost in translation from my emotion, you look at the film, I never once said this man is corrupt. I don't know him. I've never met with him. He is a leader of this very big organization, and he has his job and I have mine, and we have not come to communicate. I can tell you, I'm talking about corruption because I'm being sued for comments I made about corruption. I feel very comfortable that, there's an olive branch in both directions between us and CBF as we get ready for the new season. I believe that they've also, I think, probably been looking at the issue too. It's impossible not to. And we feel right now, my current belief, people need to stop putting words in my mouth, talking about me and Edinaldo like he's an agent of change in a different way. I'm an agent of change in a different way. We all have our approach. I believe he is going to be on the right side of history, and I believe he's going to be helpful, but we have to provide the evidence. So what's happening with the lawsuit, my perception is it was filed, it was emotional. I think he had concerns about what he thought was said, and I think he may have very well been justified to defend himself and his name based on what he thought I was saying. I think I've learned a lot about communication in this country, and so what I've done, I would ask everybody in leadership in the sport to do a little bit, right? If you're in the sport court and you're a judge, stop talking to the press about the crazy gringo and covering his bad performance because you are on the wrong side of history. You don't have the data. You haven't seen the evidence. When we tried to show the evidence to the sport court the first time, it was 74 pages. It was match fixing on a specific game. It was people coming and paying players to tank a game. And that got 18 hours of consideration by the sport court before they immediately came out with a statement and said, this is nothing, there's no legal grounds. Well, 10 years of technology, reputation, the people that created that report, they've been in Brazil looking at these games for long before we got here.